I just came back from Laughlin this year. They had February as their conference, and I was
Okay.
giving a talk on time travels from our future. I'll explain that in a moment. I will be back next year again. February 27th to March 6th of 2021 is their annual conference, and I will be doing another presentation there. But the reason why the time travelers is of interest is because the time travelers are our species from the future that come back in time. Part of their team are extraterrestrials or grays and hybrids. So you can see the interest of the UFO society in my work. Obviously, time travels alone would be significant, but part of their team are extraterrestrials. By the time time travel is discovered and utilized by the 31st century, the extraterrestrials that are involved, like the grays and the hybrids, are all very positive. So it's not like today where these people abduct people, take sperm and egg samples, and give them post-traumatic stress disorder. That doesn't happen from time travelers. They're very spiritual because they're us in the future. The better our world is, the better it is for them. So they have no incentive to harm us, you see.
Yes. Okay. They're us from the future. And this may sound a little wild and crazy, but I actually know someone who remembers herself as a gray and is here. And actually, you look at her and she does resemble the shape of the face of a gray. Isn't that fascinating?
Well, if you study ancient Egypt, and I wrote a book on Egypt, Akhenaten had this long, elongated skull, if you look at the depictions of him, and that is not normal. And that is not your typical human. By the way, if you look at the average human being, let me just share something. Everybody has extraterrestrial genetics. Okay, extraterrestrials have been on this planet for millions of years. So one caller on a radio show I was doing said, "Doctor, is it true that this planet has been seeded by extraterrestrials?" So my response to him was that this planet has been seeded more than forest lawn. Okay, we've been seeded over thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. Evolution is a very slow process. We shouldn't be here as human beings from single-celled organisms in a matter of a couple of billion years. It takes a lot longer than that. Actually, it's 500,000 years ago. It was nothing but hydrant, little fish. Now look at us today. That's way too short a period of time. But if you seed the planet with preformed structures or DNA, etc., then you can have humans eventually come here. And look how different we are from any other animal. That is not natural. Okay, if you look at other animals, they're related, or some of them are. You don't see the extreme. Look what we did. You ever see an ant build a satellite dish? I mean, we do things that nobody else can possibly do. They may be able to lift one up. They're very strong per capita, but they can't build one. So
We need clothes. We have to wear clothes and shelter, right?
So my point is that this is where the concept of where the UFO societies are very interested in my work. But even the time travelers alone, of course, there's also underground military bases, there's abduction, there's all kinds of things going on that they're very interested in too. And they like to learn about it. They also like to learn about how to protect themselves spiritually, because there are ways in which you can actually avoid an abduction, and I train them how to do that. So just in case they are being potentially abducted by a gray, there are ways you can stop it too. And that obviously is of interest to them too.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's going down a whole nother rabbit hole, but we love you sharing on that and sharing on everything. So, oh my goodness, the super conscious mind tap, out of body experience, soul plane, ascension, age regression, past life regression, future life regression. It's all part of the downloads that you have for our audience. We thank you for that. And we're looking forward to being in a live webinar with you.
I am looking forward for it too. Benefits that people can get from it is the idea of obviously removing the fear of death, personal empowerment to take charge of your life and to access your higher self, read your Akashic records, overcome any issue that has been bothering you, to be a more empowered spiritual soul, abundance, karmic capitalism, improve your relationships. You can do anything that's humanly possible. So this is I call it a God-given gift that we have. The question is, why not use it? The body produces ethyl alcohol, it produces cholesterol, it produces most of the essential amino acids. Okay, so on a physical level, there are a lot of things our body does very efficiently, but it also allows us, using the alpha brainwave natural self-hypnotic technique, to grow spiritually and to empower ourselves.
That's what we're all about. And when we see the synchronicities in our life, that's when we know our higher self is in charge.
There's nothing by coincidence. I don't like the term coincidence at all because, there's an old expression, when the student is ready, the teacher will be there. But it applies to each individual. When you do things that work for you, it's not an accident. It's the universe has given us kind of a freebie here as a reward to help us grow. And if you use it, you're going to grow and people around you will benefit too.